Welcome to the Determined Mom Show, the only marketing podcast dedicated to guiding mom CEOs into tranquility, wealth, and multiplying those precious moments. Welcome to this episode of the Determined Mom Show. I have with me the lovely Alison Leitheiser, and we're going to talk today about how to rewire your brain to change your business and personal life. So welcome, Alison.
Thanks, Amanda. I am really excited to be here with you today.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you to be here too, because I was just telling you before, my brain needs rewired. I am super excited about this. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and learn more about you.
Yeah, I am a mom of 3. I have 2 businesses, and I'm also have another additional job of I'm homeschooling the kids as well. I have a few irons in the fire, Amanda. And as mom entrepreneurs can resonate with, I had a chaotic this morning and things weren't quite going according to schedule or plan. And before I hopped on with you, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to calm down. I have to center. And I did a few of these neuro exercises that help my brain know that it's safe and I can think more clearly and be more present. And so what I love to do is empower women, especially moms, because we're the ones changing the world. And what's so important with moms is our nervous system affects our business. It affects our friends, our community, but it also really impacts our children. And we are the trellis that their little nervous systems are climbing on. They're patterning off of them. And so it's very important that we regulate ourselves and know how to balance ourselves so that we can give that gift to our most precious ones.
I know that I totally feel you on that. Like the crazy morning, all of the things. Like it's just, I don't know if there is like such thing as a morning where everything goes, or at least I've never had it. So if there is, go ahead and let us know. If you're listening and you have had the perfect morning, just please let us know that exists so that way we know. But I'm glad that you have these techniques, and I know you're going to share some of these techniques or some techniques with us today that will allow us to work towards that rewiring process. But how did you learn? I don't know. I guess it's a field or field of study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different doors into the body and the mind. And this is one of my favorites. So as a younger person, I actually became very ill. And as I was 16, I got a virus in my spinal cord, and it ate away my nervous system and my organs. And I actually was paralyzed from the neck down. I was fully quadriplegic. I could not change the TV channel. I could not brush my own teeth, things like that. So I was like very impacted in a not very functional way for a long time with this. And so I began to seek answers. So the medical community did their best. They didn't have an answer for me, and I didn't match anything that they had going on. So for MS, for example, if you need 5 check boxes to get that diagnosis, I would have 4 of them. So they didn't really I wasn't presenting as a textbook case. So they basically were like, I don't know, shrug shoulders, and here's some pain medication. So
which always makes you feel great if all of the doctors are like, I don't know what to do with you. Sorry, just go ahead and live like that.
Yeah. So my family and myself, thankfully, were not satisfied with that being the answer. Just, okay, well, I guess we'll just wait here while I'm paralyzed. So we began seeking other alternative healthcare options, and we stumbled upon lots of great techniques, but there was one in particular, one type of therapy in particular that helped me walk again, and that's called integrative manual therapy. And they combine so many different types of alternative therapies into one. It's like a bouquet of incredible work. And so with that, they were able to work on the really damaged aspects of my nervous system, of my vascular system, like my circulation, and help me repair. So I did make a recovery with them, but I still had some lingering symptoms like migraines and just exhaustion, and really just like an instability in my health. So if I did too much, then I would maybe feel bad for a little while, or if I overextended myself and I didn't sleep enough, or I didn't eat the right food, I just felt like fragile. You know what I'm saying? So the neuro training, the brain training, is what helped sync up my primitive brain so that my body began to perceive my environment as not threatening. and more safe, so that the nervous system has a huge cascading effect on our hormones, on our immune system, on our digestive system, on so many different aspects of our lives. And so if you're getting the signals from your brain that you should be in survival mode, then that's going to cause you a lot of heartache. A lot of things are going to go wrong because there's this cascade that happens with inflammation and stress and all these things. What we can do now, we know that we can give our brain more information to be like, hey, let's take another look. Is that a tiger in my kitchen, or is it my son making a growling noise? Is this traffic jam a life-threatening situation, or do I actually have the ability to breathe while I'm going to work? Or this incredibly stressful project or meeting, like, is this life or death, or can we choose something different? So this is the different ways we can give our brain more information can help us choose something different.
That's amazing. And I was maybe a little tiny bit aware that this existed, but not like to the extent that you have experienced and that you've shared. And I wasn't aware that you can actually just change so much about your body just by focusing on your brain. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. So I love marrying the two, because some people only talk about the brain, some people only talk about the organs, and I think you can't really go wrong going including us both and having more of a whole brain, whole body approach.
Yeah, awesome. So what are some of these techniques that we can actually use, like maybe on a daily basis when we're overwhelmed, like with the kids, like like that's my biggest thing is like when, oh my God, they're all fighting. I'm trying to make dinner. I'm like, I don't know if it's anybody else is listening has experienced this, but like
Probably
everything is happening. Yeah, exactly. Everything is happening at once. And you're just like, oh my God, I don't even know what to do. You just shut down.
Yeah, that's a common experience. I think everyone has. Everyone can relate to that. And I think that there are specific drills that work really well for my brain to help me calm the F down.
Yeah.
And those drills probably aren't going to be the same for you because your nervous system is different than mine. Your brain is unique. What I like to do is spend some time like figuring out what are your really powerful, like quick, like you can reset your nervous system in 10 seconds. And that's why it's so awesome for moms and for entrepreneurs, is because we're not working with a lot of margin. We need something that is effective in a very quick application. So the rescue drills are definitely there. What I like to encourage people to do is do them proactively. Don't wait until your nervous system is fried to start using them. We can incorporate them into our day and they're quick. One thing that I like to teach people is it's not a super finessed drill, but it's pretty common one that works for a lot of people. And that is a breathing technique. Our rate of breathing is actually a backdoor to our primitive brain, to affect our primitive brain, because if our brain is thinking we're definitely running from a tiger right now, our breath rate and the way that we're breathing, the way we're using our lungs is going to be different than if we're feeling calm, if we're sipping tea by the fire. So the changing our breathing can then be a backdoor to our brain and be like, hey, you aren't running from a tiger. See how deeply I'm breathing, see how much oxygen I'm taking in, see how much fuel you're getting. So then the brain can be like, oh yeah, okay, you're right. And it can make a change. Yeah. So just doing some really intentional breathing. There's so many awesome breath work types of suggestions out there. I think it's becoming more and more common that people are choosing to utilize this to change their physiology. And one of my favorites to use is called alternate nostril breathing. And that balances your brain because it's stimulating both sides of the brain. You're breathing through your right nostril and then your left nostril. So I can guide us through that if you want. Or
yeah, that would be great.
Okay. So for our bodies, we can actually measure if something's working for us. So if you take a little check, we're going to just like look from side to side, see how your neck feels, raise your arm up, see how your shoulder feels. And then those markers are just going to help us to know how much our body changed. Because if our nervous system really likes something, it'll actually be like, hey, go ahead and make more movement. Like I'm feeling safe. We can extend. We can really move our bodies in a different way. And then the other measurement is intrinsically, like inside, taking a measurement of where you're at. So on a scale of 1 to 10, like how anxious do you feel? How energized do you feel? So just like you can close your eyes for 1 second and think about where are you at today? Maybe you're 2, maybe you're 9, but we're just gonna touch point with that number, and then we'll do the breathing drill, and then we'll remeasure those ways that we can touch into our bodies. So the alternate nostril breathing is you start by plugging your right nostril and you breathe in with your left. And then at the top of the breath, you're going to switch. You're going to plug the left nostril, blow out the right nostril. Then you inhale through that same side, inhale on the right, switch at the top of the breath, and exhale through the left. And you keep going like that. Inhale through the left, switch at the top of the breath, exhale through the right, inhale through the right, switch at the top of the breath, exhale through the left. So you guys can keep going, but this is called in yoga land, this is called Nadi Shodhana. And there's all these little energetic channels that it's purifying in our body. And because we're breathing on the right and left side, it's activating both sides of our brain. So when we get anxious, when we get hyper focused, usually there's just one part of our brain that's activated. And so this can help balance our brain out. So if you continue to do the breathing, you want to shoot for 7 to 8 cycles. So one cycle would be inhale to the left, switch at the top of the breath, exhale to the right, inhale to the right, switch at the top of the breath, exhale through the left. So that like full breath in and out through both nostrils would be one cycle.
Okay.
And then after you've done that, you can take a little look-see and see what you're experiencing in your neck, in your shoulder, in your internal measurement. What do you think?
Awesome.
Would you
I
get?
definitely noticed a difference like in my shoulder. Like it's so much easier. Feel more like mobility. I guess.
Yeah.
I should say mobility is the biggest change and definitely more calm. I only did like maybe 2 cycles, if that. But I think if I did all 7 of those cycles, 7 to 8 cycles, I think it would be a huge difference. So I'm excited to try that. Yay. I'm sure I'll get the opportunity later today because I'm a mom.
Yeah. So I like to do that when I'm driving, when I'm just, if I'm still and I'm not using a hand, that's a great one to do. And you don't have to be in a deep meditative state. You can just do the breathing and that's going to change your brain.
Yeah.
I love that one because one of our brain's requirements for optimal function is oxygen. So when you are giving it a base survival nutrient to thrive, you're going to get more bang for your buck on the rest of your day.
That's awesome. So maybe we should do that like every morning, like after we brush our teeth or like just incorporate it into our daily routine. And then we can also use it as, like you said, the rescue method.
Yeah. And the thing about our brain, it has 2 modes. There's a more survival mode, and then there's like a resting and digesting and heal that area. And so you could do this before meals also, and that'll help you actually be able to digest your food and absorb what you're giving it.
Wow.
You can also do this before bed to help you just lower down the stress level and tell your body like, hey, it's actually okay to rest and it's okay to sleep deeply and be refreshed in the morning.
That's awesome. So now, question for you. Do you like teach your kids this? Do they practice these things to kind of allow themselves to like learn their nervous system and learn how to manage it?
Yeah. I actually was teaching the kids. We had this little homeschool group last year and I was teaching them anatomy and I was teaching them some neuro drills in there as well. And one of the girls broke her arm and had to go get an MRI because there were some complications and she was scared and she was feeling panicked and she had the presence of mind in that moment to remember, oh, there's that thing that Alison taught me. I'm going to try it. And so she did. And she was able to not only continue with the MRI, but finish. And she was like feeling calm, feeling safe, feeling fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I love teaching kids that for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I wish I would have known this last week. No, I think that was this week when I took my 12-year-old for her COVID booster. She had a little panic attack, not a panic attack, like officially, but she was like freaking out. So that would have helped.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I have it now going forward for all of these
Yeah.
challenging moments. And I know that you're coming out with a book, which I am thinking may have more of these, or what's in your book?
My book is it's a book of a lot of different people's stories, and I have a chapter in there. So I go more in depth into my story and what helped me and what the experience was like. And that is coming out October 1st.
Okay, that's awesome. That's just like next week. So that's perfect. Yeah, awesome. So what else can you share with us that we can use in our business, in our personal life to really help us to centering would be the best word, or I don't know if centering is the best word. Just chill.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of hustle that goes on with what we're trying to do here. And I think that there's not often enough self-care that we take. And sometimes that self-care is like a glass of wine and Netflix, which no problem with that, but it's more like a check out versus a check in. And when we continue going on in our lives and we're pushing ourselves to the max and we're checking out a lot, that's what's going to lead to burnout. And where you wake up one morning, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do my business. I don't want to be a parent. I want to burn everything down.
No one listening to this has ever felt that, by the way. Just kidding.
So the benefits of this is so incredible, and they're quick. And when you figure out what is helpful for you, there is like an untapped level of ability for you to rise to the next place, whether that's in business, relationship, parenting. I think what is very misunderstood is that if we hustle harder, we're going to get what we need. And when we are our brand and we're stressed, we're burnt out, we're fatigued, we're chaotic, we're inconsistent, that reflects in our brand. And so when we train our nervous system to be centered, sustainable, reliable, safe, fully present, that also comes across in your brand. And if you just think about yourself, who would you rather do business with?
That's very true.
It's that you want someone who's going to show up for you. And we've all had the experience meeting with someone who's really chaotic. And that's a hard pass. Thanks. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Like we don't want that. We don't need more of that. We have enough on our own. So I think when we think about the aspects of how we can train our nervous system and the benefits of that in our business, incredible. It's really incredible what happens to your sales, what happens to how you feel in your body, how you feel about your business.
It's awesome. I agree completely. And I think that would be a huge shift for a lot of people. And it doesn't sound hard. There's some things that like we talk about on the show, and like they involve a little bit of work. They involve like a lot of work. They involve like years of doing this thing or that thing or the other thing. But this sounds like something that can be immediately applied and you can see immediate results, which is so different than so many of the other things that we've talked about through the years.
Yeah. The program that I have for women is 8 months long. So it is work, but it is immediately applicable. And basically it's like giving you the opportunity to totally evaluate and regenerate your body from an organ level, from a brain level. And when we do that, we have a way increased capacity. And money's a frequency. Everything has an energy to it, and money has its own energy. And sometimes it doesn't jive with the energy that we have. So when we can upgrade our energy, then we can have the capacity to hold space and receive more money.
Yeah.
Wow. Too. So it definitely correlates.
That's awesome. And so where can everyone find out more about working with you and your program? Yeah,
I have a website. It is inner-restoration.com. And there's workshops on there. There's a link to my program. You can reach out and connect with me. And then there's also a link to join my free community, which is a Facebook group. And I go live in there and I teach new techniques, new ways to approach our health and our vibrancy and our success every week.
Awesome. Yeah. That's great. I love it. Okay. Awesome. I'm definitely joining the Facebook group and going to check out all of the things because I need to definitely rewire my brain. So again, don't we all? Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for being here, Alison, and sharing this amazing information with us. It's new to me, and I hope it's new to a lot of people. And I hope that it's going to help a lot of people because I think it is definitely, it sounds amazing. And just that little exercise that we did during the recording, I think it's definitely extremely evident that it's very powerful.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me, Amanda. I loved speaking with you. And I wanted to say, go team to all the moms. Your bodies are worth fighting for, and you guys are doing awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Alison.
Thanks, Amanda.
Let's face it, piecing together a marketing plan with the things you hear, watch, or read online, while tempting, is never a good idea. The truth is, people don't search on social media for your services, and even if they do, they will still be going to Google to check your ratings. By not having a cohesive, proven marketing system, you are leaking clients and customers through giant holes in your customer acquisition bucket. But let's talk about what else isn't working. Posting tirelessly on social media, tracking followers as a business metric for success, paying for ineffective marketing, buying glossy ads in coupon magazines, spending time replying to comments, paying others to manage your social media with no actual sales coming in. So what is going to work? Having a proven marketing system in place will plug every hole in your bucket and allow you to begin to fill up with new customers and to also retain and nurture your current ones. Go to tdm-marketing/6-marketing-musts and download our free guide to 6 marketing musts guaranteed to get you more customers.